In this tutorial, we will cover our brand new yearly summary. Here is our yearly summary. Every single record book is required to have one of these completed. We will dive into each section a little bit and talk about how to properly fill out each section. First off, you want to make sure that you use a new form each year. It is a yearly summary because it only talks about what happened this past 4-H year. And make sure you are placing the current year first in each of your sections. This will help our volunteers be able to read your information in your record book very thoroughly. You want to make sure that you have your age and grade for your preceding 4-H year, so what grade you finished in May. The record book completes what has been accomplished the past 4-H year. Make sure you print neatly or type. Be specific, the more detail the better. And under each section, recognition, communication, and community, you want to make sure that you're thinking about all areas of your life. So school, church, Girl Scouts, FFA, Boy Scouts, or any other organization you may be involved in. We have a few tips and tricks that we're going to discuss on how to properly fill out your yearly summary. First off is the top section here. So the year is going to be the previous 4-H year. So you want to make sure it's 2017-18. For next year you'll have 2018-19 and so forth. Your name and county, you want to make sure you print legibly. Your age, this is how old you were this past 4-H year. The grade you completed in May, and how many years you're in 4-H. We've added a section here that you can put an X under each month for club meetings that you attended. Offices held and committees on which you served is self-explanatory. If you were an officer or if you were on a committee, make sure you put your information here. Next is our 4-H participation. So you want to list your local club activities, county activities, if you attended any multi-county activities or state or national events. Make sure that you include leadership and citizenship experience. And you want to make sure that you are specific as possible. So include details of your events. So here you can see there are 3 different ways that you could fill out your 4-H participation area. Obviously, choice number 3, C, is the correct answer. You want to make sure that you include dates, what happened, and any details that you want to include in your 4-H participation. Remember, you're going to be using this in years to come, so you want to make sure that you are having this as specific as possible. The next section is the 4-H recognition section. This is where you want to list any ribbons that you received this past year, your name in the paper, any specific certificates, and this is just for 4-H. So over here, this is not just for 4-H. You can list any part of your life in this section. So you can have your science fair, if you have honor roll, any ribbons you receive for county fair or state fair as well. Your communication section is for all areas of your life as well. So any talks, presentations, or any time you got up in front of a group of people to talk. Again, more detail is better. So if you have dates, what you did, if you have the topic of the presentation that you completed, those are all really good things to include in your communication area. Next, at home with your family. So what are your chores and responsibilities? Our volunteers like to see that our 4-Hers are well-rounded individuals and that they have responsibilities and are completing those. So make sure that you fill out any chores and responsibilities you have. The more detail, the better. At school, so which organizations, honors, sports, extracurricular activities did you participate in? This can be as detailed as possible. So if you were on the basketball team, you can list what positions you played. If you were on the honor roll, list what semesters you were on the honor roll, different FFA events or speech competition. Anything that you're involved in with school is what you want to put here. For your community, so this is our community service. 4-H is all about community service, and we want to make sure that our 4-H members are giving back to our community. And the really neat thing about community service is this can be for any organization you were involved in with this past year. So your church or school or other youth organizations that you were involved in. Make sure you have as much detail as possible, so the date and the specific activity that was completed. And finally, the last part of our yearly summary form is project records. So this section is only for projects that you will not be completing a specific project record form for. Make sure you complete this section explaining your goal, what you did, and what you learned for the entire project area. So like we've talked about before, the project area is everything that is included in that project area. So food and nutrition, woodworking, beef, sheep, poultry. It's not the exhibit that you brought to county fair. So in conclusion, our yearly summary is really just looking at what you did this past 4-H year. The yearly summary can be found on our website, and you can type right into it or you can handwrite. If you type into it, the boxes do expand, giving you more room to add in as you need. Make sure that if you are going to handwrite, that it is legible. And this concludes our yearly summary. Stay tuned for more information on our additional forms.